Hello, everybody. How's it going? Can we hear me okay? Can we see me okay? I don't have my light on. Doesn't seem too bad. Maybe I might need it when I'm pointing down at the desk. If you are here, say hello. Say that you can hear me. That would be great. This is my first time streaming from this setup. I thought I would have a celebratory drink to celebrate. A celebratory drink to celebrate. I'm having my favorite drink. Beer. Yes, so if you haven't seen my last video or my second channel video, I have moved. So this is my first stream from the new house. We got internet, I think, last week. Maybe even the week before. So yeah, set up for streaming. I'm running 2 streams at once. Oh no, Adam, you're watching David and mine. I have absolutely no problem people watching David's stream, and if David finishes coming over here, or if I finish go over to David, I don't think there's a big deal with both of us streaming at the one time. I don't think the stuff we'll be streaming about will be pretty similar. Yes, so this room here, this should be the master bedroom of this house. That is a walk-in wardrobe. Slightly more this side of it is an ensuite, and the reason I'm in this room as opposed to the room I should be in is because the room I should be in is above the playroom, and we figured out that it is incredibly loud. So we need to get it soundproofed a little bit, and we can't do that at the moment. Yes. So, hello, LGB. Am I quiet? I could be. My microphone was pointing a different way. I should be pretty loud now, I would imagine. Yes. Definitely drinking beer. I don't even like this that much either. I'm sorry. I can turn the gain up on my microphone. I don't know which way is up. Is that up? Is that down? I don't know. Hopefully that's better. Yes, I think my microphone isn't as tight as it was when I had it in the last house. It should be like that, but it's kind of twisted down. Hollow new home sound. So the room isn't quite as empty as it looks. Just everything's on the wall that you're on. But I guess it is a much bigger room. And the floors are like a floorboard, so that's kind of hollowy and echoey, and some of the walls are whatever. Can you and David get the drinking in sync? I can't watch David and stream. That would be very challenging. Okay, so hello to the embedded hobbyist, Bali, Alex, Johnny, Adam, Rob, LGB Kai, more Johnny, more Adam, the Platonic Wizard, Dejan, another Alex, Asha, Pierre, Capo Steve, Pierre Pie, already got you twice, James, Gary, more Pierre, and yeah, hang a duvet on the cupboard door. Maybe. To be honest, it's just going to be echoey today, so sorry. I have the same microphone. Yes, this is my Blue Yeti. I got it at Christmas. You know what you were talking about on my Discord, Johnny, about like it being April or whatever? this was kind of one of those for me in December. Yes, so the room is much bigger. As I said, this shouldn't be the room, or this won't be the room I'll stay in, which kind of has its own problems too, because I can't really start setting it up yet, because I am going to move into the other room once I can soundproof it a little bit. But yeah, so not only is the room itself bigger, but we have another room downstairs that my wife is going to take, and she is going to do most of the Tindie stuff. So a lot of the stuff, if you've seen that tour, a lot of the stuff that was on that tall Calyx unit, which was the Tindie boxes, that will go into her room, and all the Tindie parts and stuff, because she's going to try pack it and stuff. There is also an attached garage in this house, so stuff like the 3D printer won't be in the office anymore, or the reflow oven that I never used. That'll probably also be in the garage. Excuse me. So, yes, lots of room for activities. My hair is so long, and I don't know, are any of you guys still doing the folding at home? I had to stop it just before I came on stream, because it was folding a big protein, and the office is absolutely roasting here. I might open the window a little bit. Just a bit of bird sound, but nothing other than that. I also have locked that door, so nobody will be coming through that, because just before I clicked the start streaming button, one of the dogs booped open the door, so that the latch isn't that good on it. Stephen Ludgate, I will confess, check out my latest Instagram pic. No problemo. Hello, Unexpected Maker. I'm checking out the latest Instagram pic. Do I need to do it on my PC? I suppose it probably would make sense. I don't know how to use Instagram. Chunky... That probably would make sense. Whose volume is on, though? I better move my mouth really close so I'm louder. Okay, yeah, so... what are we doing today? So if you don't know, I'm a big fan of instant messenger called Telegram. Let's make this a little bit more suspenseful. Bum, bum, bum. Yes, so I'm a big fan of an instant messenger called Telegram, and I wrote a library for it. It was actually one of the first things I ever did on an ESP8266. I wanted to write a Telegram bot. That is why I bought an ESP8266. And yes, so I made a Telegram library, and that was a few years ago. And yes, for the last year or so, it has been sitting kind of untouched. Some people have pushed PRs to it, and I need to accept these PRs. I have even merged some of them into new branches, but basically the major change is that Arduino JSON v6 is supported in this new branch, which is a problem because it wasn't supported in the old one. And then what else is there? Another thing changed as well. If you're on the Telegram group for the Universal Telegram library, you'll know that like every week or so somebody comes in and goes, hey, it's not working, and it's like, oh, just add clients.set insecure. Okay, thanks, and it works. And so that clients.set insecure thing, so that change was basically ESP pushed a change in 2.5 that stopped you from being able to make HTTPS requests without specifying a fingerprint or saying I don't care. So people go, oh, that I don't want to do a thing that says set insecure, but it's literally the exact same as if you were running on 2.4. Like, it hasn't changed other than you have to add that line just to bring back what that was. So I have to update all the examples with that because that's a pain. And actually, just over the weekend, Telegram updated their fingerprint as well. They've changed like server or their cert. So if you have a Telegram program where you're using the fingerprint instead of the set insecure, it probably stopped working over the weekend. So hello, Dustin Watts. What a new Telegram library. And that's the other thing. If I was writing the Telegram library again, right now, like from scratch, I would not do it the way it is now. 100%. It's full of strings and I would get rid of all the strings. But the problem is that the strings are fundamental to how it currently works. Like, as in, it would be massive breaking changes to get rid of strings now. And I don't know if that's a good idea. It could possibly be something like a Raspberry Pi is probably able to look after the certs, though. So I'm not too sure. But yeah, what was I talking about? So if I was writing it again, I would do it completely different. No strings attached. So I think this will be the last release of this version of the Telegram library. And I think I might actually create a new library that is free of strings. So I will deprecate this one, the Universal Telegram library. I suppose I may as well share my screen. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Let's see here. Oh, that's not too bad. Share screen and desk. That's not desk. That's me. The Kissogram. Hello, Electroash. TM, you can have it. Yes, so... Okay, 1 second. I nearly drank my beer wrong. So I was thinking about calling it Arduino or something like that. I was talking with Dave Darko, and he was like, why don't you just call it Arduino Telegram Library? Because there isn't actually one called that. And I think it's too generic, right? Because people say at the moment with my Universal Telegram Arduino library, I use the Arduino Telegram library. And if you make one that's called the Arduino Telegram library, how it doesn't differentiate itself from any other one. So I was thinking of maybe calling it Gramduino, but I will accept suggestions, but that's not what we're doing today. Yes, so this is my Universal Telegram Arduino library. The name comes from an XKCD comic, which is kind of funny because I'm talking about adding another one. That basically, like, I forked one library and I was inspired by another bit. Teleduino, maybe, yeah. I don't know if people care about where this came from, but basically somebody had written an ESP8266 version of a Telegram bot. Like, so it was working on with Telegram. But I liked the way that this crowd had done their bot a little bit more. It supported more features. So I was kind of like, well, maybe we can sort of mash them into one. And I started originally working on this one, like as in forked. You'll even see my pull request is still there somewhere. So I'm using the JSON parser. But like it became too big of a change. Like I was fundamentally changing this library, and I was just like, I'll just change it to be my own library or whatever. Teletubbies be. I like that. Telebuatuino. I don't know even how to pronounce that. Oh, David. Telegram Duino is small telegram in Italian style. Yeah, so I was wondering whether Duino was protected, and it's on the Arduino website that you can call something Duino, but it sounds stupid in Italian. Teletubby SP. I actually really like that one. Were Teletubbies big outside the UK and Ireland, though? My stupid chair is really squeaky. I don't normally use this chair, but the other one's downstairs. Yeah, so the other thing that's on the version 1.2 branch is somebody wrote a much faster camera. Maybe it was for the ESP. Where is it? Camera or send photo? Yeah, send photo from Serial. And I don't know exactly what they changed, but they made sending photos from Serial way faster. I should have brought in the camera actually. I know where it is. We can grab it pretty easy. Teletubby. Oh, nice. Maybe Teletubby. No, I won't call it that. The BBC will sue me. That son will come and... Didn't Tinky Winky, the purple one, didn't he like wear his costume out drinking or something, and didn't he get fired? I don't know if I'm remembering that incorrectly, but I definitely remember there was some scandal with it. Okay, so yes. So the things I need to do are, I have a version of the somewhere. I'm not even fully sure where it is, so hopefully I can find it. I have a version of a sketch that works on the ESP32 cam, and we can play around with that too. So you know the board that Bitlooney has a programmer for. So you can run a Telegram bot directly on that, and you can get it to take photos and send it straight to Telegram, straight into the bot, which is pretty nice. I think that's filling it up. Yeah, so Pierre, this is kind of like a temporary office for me. So I don't know how much filling it up I'll do, but maybe I'll throw a few teddies or something around the place to just absorb the sound. I think I probably will put down, so not carpet, but something not wood. Yes, Martin Fassini has done some ESP cam work for Speed. Yeah, that might be interesting as well. But it does work pretty fast on the lower resolution ones for sure. So like you wouldn't be taking actual photos. Sorry about the kids, they'll go to sleep. You wouldn't be taking like actual proper photos, but like one of the projects I have in mind is a picture doorbell. Excuse me. This beer is really making me burpy or gassy. Stapled to the wall, to the ceiling. Wait for a beer. Yeah, I don't know. Is it that echoey? Sorry. I don't know. Hang a few carpets on the wall or something. It'll be fine. But okay. So I guess the first thing I need to do is make sure I have it downloaded. So I'm just gonna switch back to me. Beer. It's high quality beer. This is nah. I'm lying to you guys. This isn't beer. This is Diet Coke. I just didn't want to be sponsored by Coca-Cola, so I printed off. I lied to you. I don't drink beer. I'm sorry. Will you ever forgive me? Okay. While I'm loading up stuff, why don't people tell me what's going on? What's going on with you? Are you working from home? Are you doing some interesting things? What is going on in your life? I am dying for interaction with people. So this will be as good as it gets. Yeah, I don't. So I live in a outside a small town in Ireland, and this house is quite big. But like, as in, if I was to buy a house, I wouldn't buy it. I'd probably buy maybe an apartment in Dublin for the same money. So don't think that I'm super well off. I am fortunate in life, 100%, but I'm not super rich or anything. Uh, I always feel kind of weird about talking about that type of thing. I don't know. I don't want people to. I don't want to rub people up the wrong way or anything. So yeah, I don't know. What's my stream schedule? So normally, I don't know what is normal. I'm gonna try stream Mondays at this time. So 23 minutes ago, that would be the. Uh, Yes, I also need to set up my home my home network setup. So I have really good internet. It is the exact opposite side of the house, and Wi-Fi does not get up here. So I'm using power line adapters, and even though I've like a gigabyte power line adapter, it's not great. Um, like they're not attached to the same circuit or whatever. So I don't know what can you do, but yeah, like I'm getting like 50 megs throughput on it, which is fine. Like this is working, but yeah, uh, we are excited about the new release. Well, the new release will be pretty similar to the old release, or sorry, to the 1.2 branch that people can just download now. But I guess it is nice to not have to be like, oh, make sure you install version 5 point whatever. Although I'm probably going to get a load of complaints saying it doesn't work with version 5 anymore. I don't know. What can you do? What does it do? Telegram is an instant messenger client, kind of like WhatsApp, and it supports bots. So you can create bots to interact with. And the library makes it run on the ESP 8266, so you can interact with your ESP through Telegram. So yeah, I wouldn't ideally use power line adapters, but I needs must. I would need help running the cables for I would need help running the cables for, a proper cable run. So I'll do what I can. Arduino, what's it called? Universal Telegram Bot. Awesome. Okay. It's just opening up here. Let me also just open I use SourceTree for code. Because there's only like one circuit going through the house, Pierre, is it? Yeah, like the garage is attached to like there's an attic above the garage that's at the back of the office that I'm going to take, and so if I brought a wire up and through that wall and plugged in the power line to the upstairs circuit, which is all one circuit, I'd imagine the power line would work much better. But I have a Bitbucket account. It's making me log in again. I don't. Come on, I don't wanna just. I don't know what happened to source tree. Authentication successful. Great. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, there's floorboards in this house, so I'll probably try run the cable runs through the floorboard. Like the floor you can see here is the floorboard. Yes. Okay. Okay, just 1 second. All. What the? What's going on here? Arduino JSON. Oh, PIO was after trying to do some stuff here. I'll show you what I'm doing now. Screen share plus desk. I was like, why is it so small? And then I realized I do have it super zoomed out. Zoomed screen share. You do not need to see my desk because there's nothing really on it. Can I move this around? Yes, so the problem is that there is a bazillion folders trying to be checked into my project at the moment, so I'm just adding ignores for them. And there we go, all gone. Back to screen share plus me. Yes. Okay. This is the Telegram library. All right, so the first thing we'll do is it's not version 1.1 anymore, it's version 1.2. That's a bit small, is it? Will I make it bigger? Fuses is the socket. I don't understand that. Wi-Fi goes through floorboards better than walls. Top tip. Yeah, I think like one good access point in the center of the house will do well, but yes, now I see what you're talking about. Yes, Alex, we have the exact same plug as the UK. Nearly all our building standards are taken from the UK. Yeah, it's funny. I think a fuse and a plug makes sense. I don't know. Hey, Michael. Hey, Mayor Mix. How's it going? Ryanair did not answer. So if you saw me on Twitter today, I opened a chat request with Ryanair at 9:30 this morning, and as of 8:40 in the evening, so that's like over 11 hours later, they still did not respond. So, which is a disaster. Hey Thomas, how's it going? Do you need me to make this bigger, or is it big enough? I don't get why anyone would want pop-up boxes to cover up text. I don't know what's that in relation to. Yeah, there is so many cool safety features. How like the earth is the last one that'll plug out, and like it's just super nice. Yes, bigger. How do I do that? Preferences, settings. Let's make that font. Let's make it 32. Do I need to apply the latest update? I think that's a release update. I don't know if that's the thing that I just changed there. Oh, there we go. Okay, that has to be big enough, right? A bigger screen's not going to help. Is that big enough? Yeah, it was expensive enough though, because I paid to check in bags and things like that. So I'd buy something nice out of the money. Okay, so yes, I've made the change to 1.2. I don't need to change anything else. For anybody interested, library.properties. I can't make this thing bigger, but this file that I'm highlighting is called library.properties. This is what is used by Arduino to index it for the library manager. So like say architects, I have star here because, okay, so it doesn't work on some things, but I haven't put anything specific into this library that would stop it from running on something. Like there's no, like if I used the ESP HTTP client in the library, then it would only work on the ESP, and you could put the architecture down as ESP or ESP8266. I'm not even exactly sure how that works. And then you'd see it on some libraries that like when you go to look at examples, it won't show up when you've the board selected. So if it was only for the Atmel architecture and you had the board selected as an ESP, it would show up as unsupported or something like that in the examples. Yes, this house was built in like 94 or 95. Be fairly standard build, I would say. The electrics in it are quite good, though. I would say whoever was doing it was pretty comfortable with it. Yeah, I'm happy enough to like lift some of the floorboards and drill through and run a couple of Cat 6s or whatever. Yes, no, mine is no. This like, yeah, like I shouldn't be able to get Wi-Fi up here, but I can, so it's not too bad. Okay, yeah, so library.properties, that's what's needed to index. So if you search for any of these things, you should find it in the thing. So all good. All right, so the first things that I want to do is, I guess I should probably run look at some of the examples. So I have examples here. I'll just call it out because no, I can show you the zoomed version. Zoom screen share. Yeah. Yeah. So I've examples here. So this is where the examples come from when you do file examples and you go down to one of the libraries. And so I like to separate them into their folders because there's a lot of them. So I was trying to make like as many examples as I could, because I really like when examples are like one thing, you know, that they just, here is the one thing that this thing can do. Like it's a real big pet peeve of mine that some examples of like, so say you buy like an e-ink screen or whatever, they're like, here's the example, and it's some like complicated thing that needs like versions of like, you know, Arduino JSON and all sorts of things, when it should just be like writing to a screen. This is just here. This is one part of it. So I like to break it up into separate things. So when people go, oh, I'd like to be able to, you know, control a relay, you go, well, it's the exact same as the flash LED one. Or I want to use a custom keyboard. Well, just go to the custom keyboard one, and there's a couple of examples under that too. So yeah. So what we might do, I guess, is just test that it's working first. So this is, I'm already in the version 1.2 branch. So I don't know if this is the best way of doing it, testing through this. I'm sure you could probably use Platform IO. I haven't figured out that workflow yet. But what I tend to do is just install the version of the library that like is in this folder as a library for the Arduino IDE, and then test through that, which has its problems because like if you want to change it, you have to, you know, drag the files across or whatever. So I don't know. Yeah, I just hate it, Rob, when they're like super complicated. Like, as in, you know, I have these things and I'm like, oh, you know, like it's probably a cool example what they have, but it's not what I like from examples. You know, it's not just this simple kind of clear thing of here are the features that I support. It's bringing in all sorts of different things, and it's like, and then all of a sudden you need to get like specific versions of Arduino JSON, and you need to get blah. It's just like, no thank you. Okay, so let's open the Arduino IDE, I guess. I'll go back to just me, just in case I'm showing off stuff I shouldn't. And I'm glad I did that, actually, because right up the quick access thing are a load of pictures of my kids. So, yes, why is that there? I don't know. Just put it in a folder. Sorry, 1 second. Throw it in there. Oh, they're still there. Thank you, Windows, for trying to dox my kids. Okay. Right. What do I want to do here? Screen share plus desk. I guess I'll use the zoomed one. I should probably move the zoomed one closer. Yeah, I probably could, but I guess at the moment though, I'm like super set up for, you know, I'm not set up in the VM or even a different user account or whatever with all my stuff, so I probably should do that. Okay, so as I showed in a video, the portable Arduino IDE, I always use portable Arduino IDEs, and it's for this reason. So this one here is my main one that I use most of the time. So that would have the released version of Arduino, the Telegram one. So this one here, which is TG. So sorry, the other thing about this one is it has version 1 or 5.x of Arduino JSON, which we don't want, but you know, all my existing Telegram projects use it. So I created a second Arduino portable folder so I can open this one instead. And this one has version 6 of Arduino JSON installed. So this is the one we will use. Thank you, Arduino, for being on top of Yasir. I have not worked with either of them. Okay, so I need to boost up the size of this too. Let's go with 32. Seemed to work well the last time. Zoomed in is too zoomed in. There we go. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my Arduino IDE. Try to make it bigger for you guys. I'm going to go to portable. I'm going to go to sketchbook, libraries. That's not very zoomed in, but just trust me. And I'm going to delete the universal Arduino Telegram bot folder. Okay, so it's gone. Now I'm going to go back to my Arduino IDE. I'm going to go to Sketch, include library, add zip to library. And then I am going to go to Documents, Code, and I'm going to add my Universal Telegram bot library. Okay. Oh, you know what's interesting? I wonder do I have the Wi-Fi here to, you know, all this talk about bad Wi-Fi. I wonder how bad the Wi-Fi would be on an ESP8266. So maybe I might hotspot my phone. Do you know what's nice about hotspotting my phone too is I can just make up a stupid like name for it, so I don't have to hide my password or anything. Yes, it's all coming together. Except I can't type. Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, so cool. What we're going to do is we're going to go to example. Well, let's select our board first. Yeah, Lowland D1 Mini ESP30. So I've a D1 Mini selected as my board. I'm going to go to examples, down to Universal Telegram Bot, go to ESP, and Echo Bot is probably the simplest one. So we'll start with that. Hey Ray, how's it going? What is this now? My SSID is Brian's. That's actually Brian's stream. Genius. And then my password is this, I think. Now the bot token, I should probably technically be hiding that from you too. So my joy is short-lived. But yes, so the other thing, as I was saying at the start, that's missing from this is I'm using version, if we go to Boards Manager, this is a bit small for you, but just trust me, I'll call it out to you. So if I look at my ESP8266, I looked at my board and I had a D1 Mini selected, right? That says Arduino Yun down here, and ESP isn't showing up here. So what happened? I don't even have ESP installed. D1 Mini. Ugh. Okay, so we're getting a nice no, it's not quite stocked up. This wall here is much more stocked up than the other wall. Anything there that will dox me too bad. Let me show you. Desk plus me. So like my main computer desk is on this wall, obviously, and then I have some like my Calyx units and stuff there, and my Tindie stock and things. So yes, it's not as bare as like behind me. Echo Bot literally just you send the bot a message and it responds that same message to you. Are you moving soon, Ray? Excuse me. I'm gonna have to install ESP Arduino. So we're gonna get a little tutorial on how to do that too. Although there's not really much to it, is there? Yeah, so we go down, get the boards manager. I'm sure you've all done this a bazillion times. We grab it, go back in here, file, preferences, open this thing if you have more than one. I'm not sharing my screen. Of course I'm not. All right. Just workshop. Going out to the garage, eh? Yeah, so that has that. And now I'll go to board manager. Wait for it to load, go to ESP8266, and I'll install the latest one. Oh, see, it's saying update, which it says 2.52 was installed, but it wasn't available for me there, so that's looking promising. So I'll just install it again and see what happens. Oh, nice. Very good. Yeah, so we'll let that do its thing for a few minutes. Another drink of delicious beer. What else is going on in people's lives? It's some weather we're having, Ray. Surely it's gonna stop soon. People were asking me when's the last time like it rained in Ireland, and I was like, I actually don't know. It's been a while, which is pretty crazy. Okay, so we have our ESPs back now, so that's good. Right, yeah, spot token. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. But yeah, so one of the things that we need to fix up is the fact that we either need to do the client.set insecure, or we need to set the fingerprint. And I guess since the fingerprint has changed for Telegram, we should probably add the new one into the library too, because I'm pretty sure I added the old one in to make it available for people if they wanted to use it. It would be under source and then .h. I'm not sure what this stuff is. I didn't add it. The fingerprint isn't there. Maybe I've added it in other ones. I don't like this either. Host. I will probably update that. The reason I don't like host is because if you bring in two libraries that that both define a host, they'll overwrite each other, right? So I normally like to call things like Telegram host. So yes, if you bring in two Telegram hosts, it's going to or two things that have Telegram host, it's going to cause problems. But the SSL port is probably alright to stay where it is, but it's fine. I presume everything I need for that is in the CPP. Right, so I'm just going to search for hosts. I also need to look up the... So, top tip in Visual Studio Code, you can press, on Windows anyways, you can press Control D. So highlight a word, so I'm highlighting host here. And you can press Control D, and it will select the next instance of that word. So I'm also going to hit these ones too, so it's not going to actually be that good. But I'll just replace that. That would have been so much nicer if... I'm sure there's a select all button too, but... Look at all this stupid hosts. There's so much strings going on here. I hate it so much, but... Anyways... We are where we are. I think that's the end of hosts. Now SSL port. We should be much better with SSL port. SSL port. So let me grab the exact one from back here. Telegram SSL port. There's only 3, and that replaces all of them. And we're good. you no longer mess with the fingerprints. So Bear SSL Yasser is the new Wi-Fi client, right? Like there isn't the Wi-Fi client secure in 2.5 was changed from whatever they were using before to Bear SSL, I believe. So that's why this set and secure thing is needed. You can pop the root CA in spiffs. I've never done that before. I know your GitHub library makes use of it, but I haven't played around with it yet. So would that be like when you're using Telegram? Is it a root? The root CA, is that for each one? Like each site? Like, do you add one for Telegram, or do you add one for like whoever's handing out the certs? Like, what are they called again? I can't remember. The self-sign SSL people. It is a port of desktop Bear SSL, allows you to do certificates without having to know the fingerprint. Yeah, I'm a little bit out of it too. Yes, the root. So the guys that are like handing out the certs. So you would only need to add one root cert to your spiffs, and that should cover you for all things. You see, this is actually another. This was another kind of design philosophy of this library, that the library shouldn't worry about any of this, right? And like the examples might worry about it, but the library itself shouldn't do anything to do with certs or fingerprints or anything. It should just be, hey, just give me a secure client and I'll make the requests on it, and you worry about what it needs to do. So for this example of, you could use certs rather than there are 150 CAs, but yeah, certificate authority, isn't that what CA stands for? That sounds pretty cool, actually. I should maybe do a video on that. I might pick your brain, Gavin. Which only used... You showed me an API library that only used the root certificate. Yeah, exact. Well, you don't even need to, right? So you don't even need to pass the reference to the cert store, right? If you're passing in the client, right? The client needs to know about the cert store. So the same way you can go in the examples and do set insecure or set fingerprint or whatever in the setup, right? I presume at that stage you could also set the very nice, Dustin. I didn't know that. I presume you could also set the CA store or the search store at that stage too. Okay. So that's fine. I don't know what this core version is. But anyways, that's fine. Right, so we made that change, and that was kind of not what I originally planned to do. So I guess from an Echo bot perspective, so this is a simple example. It's just kind of getting back to what I was talking about with keeping it as simple as possible. The set insecure way is the most simple way, but maybe we could add a comment around, do this different if you want. Like I kind of have I kind of have the opinion that most of what people do on an ESP doesn't need to be that secure. And maybe I'll get burned for this myself even. Right, so say like the most in production thing I've ever had with this library was I could control my water heater in my previous house, where I could turn it on and off using Telegram, and it like flicked the switch using my or using a servo when I messaged it. And like if you sent a message, like if the ESP was interacting with a fake Telegram, like the worst thing they could do is turn on my water heater or turn off my water heater. Like, as in, there was not, which, you know, isn't great, but like it's not bad really, you know. Security is like, if you were doing something that sent like personal information, you 100% should not be doing set insecure. But I don't know, if you're turning on LEDs, does it matter really? You know, I don't know. But maybe we should be setting a good example to begin with. I'm just going to use set insecure for now, but we'll add a comment about it. Okay. The other thing that makes it quite nice is a lot of people Yasser, I don't know if you, it's funny that you're mentioning this, but Gavin wrote a library for that exact use case. Yeah, like, it depends. Like, if it's controlling something dangerous, well, maybe the water heater was a bad example, because that could really rack up your bills. But if it was controlling, like, an LED strip underneath your kitchen counter, who cares? Like, you know, what's the worst thing you could do? Turn on your lights? Oh, no. But, yeah, it depends. It depends. So we'll put a caveat beside it. Okay. This is the simplest way of getting this working, but it is, it's easy. How do you word this? It is insecure, not the most secure. Okay, let's do the client. That's it. If you are passing sensitive information or controlling something important, what did you say it was? Set certs or something? Cert store. Please either use set or use cert store, or at least set fingerprint. I guess I could also just tell them to. There. It's beautiful. I think that will do. No, they can't do that, right? Because what's the in? Like, as in, you're making a request. Like, what's going to get executed that it can become a vector? Like, if your device is set up to send a message to Telegram and then send broadcast what it gets back, then it could be used as a vector. But like, if my ESP is set up to like, hey, Telegram, send me an update or give me an update, and a fake Telegram responds, like the only thing the ESP will interact with is if a correct update comes back from this fake Telegram, and then it's down to the user code of what that's going to do. Yeah, well, that's my opinion. Like, people are welcome to do whatever they'd like to do. I think this covers it. It's actually one of the big advantages of something like an ESP with Telegram, because it's such a specific thing that like it's looking for, that to me it's difficult to exploit, right? Because you're just using a raw HTTP client, so like I don't know what, I don't know what attack vectors there are for it, but I'm not an expert in security whatsoever. I 100% agree. So Gavin, in your situation, set insecure, I would never use set insecure for your library, because it does not make sense. Because you're right, you're flashing a bin, and that would be an attack vector, right? Because you don't know what's on that bin file if you're not sure that it's coming from a trusted source. Like, it could be like code that's just sniffing your network and sending stuff back. So yes, 100%. Yeah, and even if like, yeah, what would it do? VI into an RPI session. Okay, yeah. So client that's set insecure. I normally have much better messages up here around what you do, and another thing that's changed and we'll need to reflect it in the documentation is that, and it's actually quite nice. So a lot of people were staying on version 2.4 of ESP because they felt that they didn't have to do the client that set insecure thing. And I think it's also a little bit faster or more memory efficient than the bare SSL one. But Telegram made a change about a month ago, or a little bit more, that they only accept TLS version 1.2 or higher. I think there's 1.3, and Bear supports it and the other one doesn't. So like, you cannot use version 2 point whatever or 2.4 or lower with Telegram anymore. It just doesn't work. Gavin, I can add you as a mod. How do I do that from here? Can I do? Oh, you have little dots here. Add moderator. Yes, you can link to the thing there, Gavin, for sure. I also never liked this, so I'll probably change this to bot MTBS. I think that's just a hangover from the previous one. No, it's fine, Dennis. Like, I'm happy to discuss why I think it's that way. Like, I think these things should be questioned. Like, 100%. Like, you do not want something like becoming an attack vector on your network. Definitely. Like, that's why it's so important to change like default passwords of like any IoT things you buy. It's not that the device itself is going to be a problem, but what if that becomes a vector into your network? Hello, Michael. How's it going? Okay, so let me bring up an example that I am happy with. Nunchuck examples should be pretty good. Basic example. Yeah. Okay, so just look at the raw of this. It's pretty small, but I don't know what that star is doing there. So this is more similar to what I normally do now. So I'll just grab these. It just also includes my GitHub sponsors link as well. I guess why wouldn't I leave a link to an ESP8266? Or any ESP8266 board. So a Telegram bot for your ESP8266 that responds with whatever message you send it. I don't know what that star is doing side affiliate, but we'll get rid of it. So standard libraries, this is just kind of stuff like these things. Has to be version 2.5 or higher. Oh yeah, it's impossible to code while listening to someone else code. I find it very hard to code when streams are happening at all. Yes, so Rob was talking about segmenting his network. That's a great idea. Like putting a guest network for all your IoT devices is a great security like thing. I look a little tired. I am tired. Put on some headphones without music. What is Snapcast? I saw a tweet about somebody doing things with it. Let's do standard ESP8266 libraries. I guess I could do that up here. Maybe I'll just do that above it altogether. The version of ESP8266 core needs to be 2.5 or higher. Or else your bot will not work. Multi-room audio service. Okay, cool. Ooh, something that I would really like to do at some stage is the I think he's Swiss and he's not Andreas. What's his name? Daniel Eichhorn. At one stage, I think he did a project around Spotify, like connecting to the Spotify API. Back to what we were talking about with the like examples being too complicated. Like, I think you could, like that project was really good. Like it was really impressive. Like it was connecting to an LCD screen. It was even pulling down like the image data and displaying that all on an ESP8266. But I think that it's too complicated. It's too intertwined. Like, you can recreate that exact project by buying all the stuff that he has. But like, I don't care about the album art. At all. All I'd like is a remote, right, for Spotify. I'd like to be able to like change songs and stuff, and like even just skip to the next song, or pause it, or anything like that. And I would like to take his project and I'd like to turn the Raspberry Pi, the Spotify part into a library, so you could then use it on any screen or whatever. Excuse me. Like, for example, I was thinking that the Unexpected Maker's Play Shield for his Tiny Pico, like, that'd be a nice little remote, because you could run it off battery, has a little screen, has 4 buttons. Be nice. I run I don't at the moment, but I will again. I use a MikroTik router, and the stuff you can do with it is nuts in terms of the configurations you can have for it. So the only additional library is this one, so I don't really need to add much to that. I guess, yeah, we'll leave that for now. I could do my secret.h thing, but no, I don't think it's a web radio project. Look, this is my stream. We can do whatever we want. Oh, I tried to open a tab into what's is Things Pulse Spotify. Is it Think Pulse? Oh yes, this is it. Oh, there's a video there. Thing Pulse. So like, I guess, that they have it for their specific kit, so maybe it makes sense. But like the artwork download, control player on touchscreen, play, pause, next, and previous. So yeah, you can see the artwork on the screen here. I would just love for it to be. I would just love for it to just be the API, and then let people kind of figure out what they want to do with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, isn't make it flexible to do whatever. But the way it is here, it's like, I guess it is somewhat separated, but like the sketch is intertwined with the Spotify client, and the, I'd love to just pull it apart, and just have the Spotify thing be its own library, where it's just like, get song name or whatever, get song name, change, send command, I would like that a lot. Hey Mike, how's it going? Super impressive project though. The other thing as well is I think he uses his own he's using the USB HTTP client. So again, like, this is like, if you took this, even if you extracted this out now, because it's using the HTTP client, it is ESP only, and even their code is. Oh, you tried it, Leo? Did you? Pretty settled. Yeah. So the other thing is there's a lot of strings around, so that's not the best. But yeah, like, at the moment this won't run on an ESP32 because it's using the ESP8266 HTTP client. So like, I would do the same thing that I do in the Telegram one, where you pass in your client, and then it can work on whatever. Like, when the Telegram library came out, when the ESP32 came out, like, I don't think I had to change anything to make it work with the Telegram library to work with the ESP32, because it's just like, you just pass it the same client and it works. So I like that. I like that a lot. But I don't know. It makes it more complicated, because I'm pretty sure using this is much easier than using the raw client. But it's fine. Whatever. Yes. Okay. So let me finally get rid of this as well. Int bot mtbs, so that's mean time between scans or something. Don't like that. This should be an unsigned long, I believe, as well. Unsigned long, bot last time bot ran. So this is just setting up the delays, I guess. Int probably makes sense for that. Delay between delay between bot requests. I don't know. Bot request delay. I think that's probably self-explanatory. Is it? Like, if I added a comment that said delay between bot requests, does that help there? I don't think it does a huge amount. Yes, so that's all fine. Blah, 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 blah. I need to fix up the fact that I changed these now. Bot request delay. Because Millie's returns an unsigned long, right? That's why I was saying that I should make that an unsigned long. Arduino Millie's unsigned long. Millie's returns unsigned long. Yeah. Hey David, how's it going? I didn't realize till I was on your stream that we were in a feud. So grr, I will feud very strongly. Now I'm feuding with Bitlooney and David now. I'm just trying to take down all the big electronics guys. Go after Great Scott next. Don't know what I'll feud with him over. Last time bot ran equals millies. Okay, looks fine to me. I'm saving okay, if I get rid of this, I can copy this back in. I suppose let me check that it works first. Brian versus Big Clive. Ooh. Who is this Irish guy? That's terrible. Let's forget that ever happened. Thankfully, this was on the internet, and everybody forgets everything on the internet. Okay. that you can't go hang out with friends. Oh yeah, that's true. Let's we can now hang out. I just need to get to Leicester somehow. Big Clive had 1,400 viewers. That's pretty impressive. I have 56. That's pretty impressive. I've told this story many times, but like the first time I streamed, I had like max concurrent of like 5 people, and at least 2 of them were my friends, like as in my IRL friends. Yes, I have shaved once since we went on quarantine. Okay, so let's try this out. Let's get my ESP. I still need to do what? I still need to get the bot token, but I'll do that off screen. Which feud? The one with Big Clive? Oh no. Yeah. 5 is good. Yeah. But like I had I can't remember how many followers I had. I didn't have good enough internet to stream at home, so I went into my dad's office and I streamed for like 4 hours. But it took me like at least an hour to set up and another hour to dismantle it. So and like it was 20 minutes away from my house, so it was like such effort to stream. Um, like I had so much stuff, like my PC, like I don't have a laptop strong enough to stream. Well, maybe it would be strong enough. I didn't at the time to stream from, and yeah, just everything was a disaster. Now I specifically went off and got ESPs to bring in here. Right, there we are. I brought D1 minis and I brought tiny Picos. Look at me now in all my glory. A big echoey room with a big squeaky chair. Nobody thought that. Oh, one thing that was interesting actually, and I think nearly we could all still benefit from it. One thing I was worried about was like talking and have my sound off, or I was like not looking at what I was doing anymore. And I set up a Telegram bot, so using this library, connected it to NeoPixels, and I had that like on my desk. And the friends I was talking about, I gave them access to the Telegram bot. So if I was doing something wrong, they could bring my attention by turning on the light. And yes, so I still do that all the time too. But like, isn't I had this light here that people could message me, and Dustin Watts has been inspiring me recently to like, he's been looking at the chat API, and I would love to do the same thing, right? Sorry, I've jumped several steps there. I would love to do the same thing as that NeoPixel thing, driven from the chat, right? That like maybe you could do something where, I don't know if you have access to who's a moderator or not, but like if your moderator says like alert or whatever, that like it would change the color of the LED and you'd be like, oh, what am I doing wrong? Or maybe even just whatever other interactions that, like, maybe if a super chat comes in, like you could, something over there would turn on, or yeah. Yes, so Dustin Watts confirms. So maybe that's what I should have done on today's stream. But anyways, we'll save it for next Monday. There's plenty of Mondays, and I probably won't be going anywhere anytime soon. So, okay, back to just me. Sorry. But yeah, like, so the other Lone Star on Twitch, if you ever watched his stuff, yeah, like the Useless Duck Company. Like, so there's a few people on Twitch that have like hardware interactions, and you can do that on Twitch relatively easily using their API. And even I pushed a pull request to the Arduino IRC library that lets you do the Twitch chat integration, and like, so you could set up bots that ran on the ESP that listened to the Twitch chat. So like, say the other Lone Star had this he had this like toy prop thing in his background, and if people like did command, or I don't know, exclamation point, and was a voltage or something, like this toy prop looked like it was being electrocuted or something. So it's pretty cool. Yes, this is my new house, Michael. It's not as empty as it looks. I'm just hiding the mess, but as you can see, I've put back up my whiteboard. It is still not used, but yeah, that's fine. Okay, so Telegram. Let's go get a bot fodder token for the wall bot. Yeah, whatever. It really doesn't matter a huge amount. Even if you had my bot token, I don't know what you could really do with it. But anyways. Are any of the Irish people with Virgin Media, or the UK people, I suppose, they're really struggling by the looks of things today. Okay, so I'm just uploading to the board now. Spurious PIO folder. That's okay. I'm Virgin is one of your ISPs. Hey Eduardo, how's it going? Yeah, I'm with Air, so they're okay. I'm with Gomo for my phone. I actually have really good cell phone reception, like isn't even like speeds of like 50 or 60 megs. No, I'm not with Virgin. No, you can't. Virgin is only available in the cities in Ireland. Some of the major towns as well. Yeah. Speed of a pigeon. Yeah, it's hard to know kind of what speeds I get here. I did a test out in the garage. That's where the internet is, and like on Wi-Fi, I was getting like 750. No, not on Wi-Fi. I connected to it. 750 megs, and but like through the power line adapters, I'm only getting like 45 or 50. I was with Vodafone in the last house before I got fiber, and they were down for like 2 weeks at one stage. But other than that, they were solid. Sorry, they weren't down. There was a fault on my line, and it took them like 2 weeks to get it sorted. But that wasn't a big problem. That's what we're working on, Eduardo. So you'll be able to use Arduino JSON 6. Like if you, I don't know if we'll get it finished today, hopefully. But like you can download the version 1.2 branch now, and it will work with the new one already. But yes, we're doing that. I also saw a bug report where somebody was saying that like the library uses like a ton of data. And I was like, what? Like, isn't they were saying it uses gigs of data? It's like, wait, what? So I think I closed the connection after every one, and I shouldn't or something. So yeah, but ugh. See you, Mike. The internet rarely goes down. The internet should never go down. I'm selling all your data. Yeah. I don't know. I was shocked when I saw it. I was like, what? Wait, what? So that's probably something I need to look into. Oh, there's my bot token. I'm not sharing my screen. It's fine. Okay, so now how am I going to do this? If I search, nobody messaged me on Telegram. How am I going to do this? If I put one up here. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, I think so. I have to schedule maintenance. Yeah, so in the last house I had LTE backup, which was okay. I probably will do the same here, although my phone is so good as a hotspot that I mightn't be too bothered. No, Michael, I did see it. It was just kind of before I was going to bed that I saw it, so I didn't get a chance to reply. But good to hear you're getting on okay. But I won't respond after this because I'll be going straight to bed. But we'll talk later on in the week for sure. Let's see, what do I want to do? I want to share my screen. No. So there's a few pictures. Yep. Right, so if this is working, I should send hi, and it should respond hi. And it did. Okay, so that's this example working. Not overly surprising. But yeah, so this is just the most simple... How are you? But it's relatively slow. It seems slower since they introduced Bear SSL. This is really slow. Maybe it even just missed it. That's weird. Doesn't want to answer how it is. So why did it miss that last one? Or the first one? Mightn't be worth digging into. Let's just assume it works most of the time. But there's live stream proof that it didn't work that time. Okay. I can talk to myself, yes. Okay, so let's change this back to just me. Okay, so I'm gonna take out my bot token and stuff like that. Examples, there's so many. But it'll get easier. Okay, so I can show you back. Yeah. Screen share. So I'll just put back in the proper placeholders rather than Brian is great. And he is. Yeah. No. Is there anything anyone else would want to see in this example? 1 bazillion %. Eduardo, yeah, those pictures you saw came from an ESP32 cam, so that is on my radar for this release. So I have it working. I just need to like tidy up the examples and stuff. Yeah, so is there anything else people would like to see from an example? I guess maybe an explanation of what this is doing. I'll put a thing up here. Checks for new messages every 1 second. Well, I guess it checks for the new message 1 second after the last one returned, but whatever. That's fine. Yeah, this is all good. So I'm just gonna grab all this and shove it back into the EchoBot example. And there we go. First one done. There is a README. This is a basic example. Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. I guess flash LED we can move on to next. So we'll just pull this up in the other one. Yeah, I probably should do it dark. So I'm gonna confess to you guys, I prefer a dark theme, but I don't care that much. It doesn't bother me massively. I'm not a very fussy person when it comes to stuff like this. Like I took a picture of my MacBook at one stage, and people are like, "Oh, you've got those horrible keys," and I'm like, I don't really notice. You know, I don't know, fine. How's cable internet in Ireland? So, like Gavin was saying, there's only one provider, and it's Virgin Media. And up to recently, they were like way faster than alternatives. But since fiber came along, they aren't. I think fiber is faster than Virgin Media even. Probably similar enough to what Gavin was saying. It wouldn't have a reputation of being the most reliable, I wouldn't think. But I haven't had cable since I was in college, basically. But you know, I think in general, ISPs are pretty decent in Ireland. Yes. Okay. So same thing here. We're going to replace the start with our new lovely message. We can take all the way down to here. Yeah. So mine is a service called Fiber to the Home. So they ran an optical cable into my house when it was installed. Yeah. So I've gigabit broadband here. I haven't seen that speed yet, but that is what I have. And it's not that expensive. Like, it's somewhat expensive, but really it's not that bad at all. Okay, so a Telegram bot for your ESP that controls the onboard LED. Yeah, that seems fine. Is the house new built? No, it was built in the 90s, but that's that's a while ago now. It's nearly 30 years ago, right? Okay, so I'm gonna get start. Why do we have start? Is that used anywhere? Text start. Okay, so cool. We have this thing that is literally never used. We have a LED pin as pin 13. Like, why, Brian? Why would it do that? I know that's this kind of one of the standard built-in pin, or isn't it built-in? No, it's LED built-in. LED built-in. Yeah, it's funny, like, as in a lot of flats, I think, have like arrangements with like a single provider. like a flat would be more likely to have cable than what I have for sure. Like my thing is called fiber to the home, so it would have to be to an exact place, I guess. Yeah, like to be honest though, when we were buying this house, like as in being able to get good internet was like a really important thing. Um, there is like plans that like who knows what will happen in terms of now, but like there was plans for the Irish government to basically guarantee broadband, like gigabit broadband to everyone's house by, was it 2035 or something? No, it must be further than that. But like it's going to cost a couple of billion to do it. I like the idea. I don't know if I agree with, like I think a gigabit broadband is not required for everybody. I think 100 meg broadband is plenty uh, for people. So like I think, you know, you don't need to run fiber up the side of a mountain. If a wireless solution would do fine there, but who knows? Maybe they'll come out with a new type of internet or new type of service that requires gigabit broadband, but I don't think it's needed. I think good quality 100 meg line would do everybody the world of good. Where's my other thing gone? What was it called? EchoBot. Yeah. EchoBot. Yeah, but like, who's to say that fiber will be the future proof? Like, is in if 5G comes along and is faster and cheaper to get things everywhere, like, I don't know. Like, what in the future needs whatever? Like, yeah, I don't know. I just like if the cost of it is going to be like to run that thing up the Boreen or up the side of the mountain is like 50,000 euro. Like, you know, maybe they can have 100 megs. Remember, it's the brown. Well, Ray, I'm in, or at least I was in. I don't know what constituency I'm in now. I was in Dennis Nocton Country before. So sorry. Okay, what do I want to do? Maybe it'd be just cheaper to ask the person who lives up the side of the mountain to move. What are the speeds of NBN? See on National Broadband. Nah. Oh yeah, like you know, the majority of the infrastructure should be fiber, and I think to the low hanging fruits should be fiber. But what they're talking about is literally you are entitled to fiber to your house, which makes no sense economically if you live like 20 miles from your nearest neighbor. 140. Yeah. There's big kind of questions as well around like who owns the infrastructure. It's this private company that are not they're not a broadband company. Like they were set up to bid on this project basically, and all the traditional ISPs all dropped out of the project saying like it can't be done basically. So then they were left negotiating with a single person. Yeah. Which, yeah, negotiations when there's one person left at the table tend to not go that well. The issue with not doing fiber is the amount of connected devices per house. Yeah, like I gave a talk on IoT stuff a few years ago, and it was like a single household produces, or like, was it a typical? Was it? I don't know. It was something crazy like 50 typical households now generate the same amount of traffic as like the entire internet did in like the year 2000 or something crazy like this. Um, yeah, and there's like more connected devices than there are people on Earth, which is pretty cool. Okay, so I've made changes to stuff, so I better actually change those things like bot request delay and bot last time ran and stuff like that. Bandwidth ship the kids at the firewall. Yeah, that was actually how I got exposed to traffic, or sorry, to MikroTiks, is like the rules that you could set up on them, like you could, you know, shape your traffic, right? Isn't that you could be like, hey, my stream is getting a guaranteed 4 meg upload. I don't care what else is going on. They are all mine. Right, so bot last time is this unsigned milli, blah 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 blah. Bot request delay. Blah 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 blah. Oh yes, that's something I actually want to change as well. Get updates. Maybe I'll do that now. Or do I care? So the thing here with get updates is you can't see my mouse when it's not the zoomed in one, which is quite annoying. But let's move to the zoom screen share. This get updates here. Oh, you can't see my mouse here either. Perfect. So the way Telegram works is basically when you ask for an update, you give it the last message you received plus 1. So the ID of the last message, which basically says, I've handled that last message. Give me anything that's this number or better, basically. Like anything below the number I send you, I've already dealt with. I don't care about it. And like, I guess realistically it should default to bot that last message received plus 1, and if in certain circumstances you want to send it a specific number, you could, but maybe it should just default to that. But I don't know. I'll probably do that in the new Telegram library. I'll leave this one alone. Yeah, okay, so let's make sure that this works. Oops, that wasn't... I grabbed my OBS screen rather than the actual scroll bar of the Arduino IDE. Oops. How dare you. Have any played a game on Steam called Golf It? Because I've been playing it recently and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a jokey game, but it's it's fun. I recommend it. It's an early access. It's €8. You kind of have to be playing it with friends though. Like, it's nowhere near as fun not with friends. Let's see. What was my password again? Brian Stream. is great. And I am. And I have to take you off my screen again. Yay. Just me. Zoomed. Me. Okay. Get the spot token back. Wow. Yeah, like the town I live in would have like I don't know what the tallest flats would be. It wouldn't be tall at all. 4 stories maybe. It's a whopper load of bandwidth. Yeah, but I wonder, like, you know, how do tiny picos compare to like somebody watching like a 4K Netflix stream? It's funny actually, you know, when all this news around Netflix dropping down their streaming quality and YouTube changing the default to 480, like that wasn't because they can't handle the traffic. It was they were being good citizens to like everywhere else. Like, isn't, hey, let's not use the entire bandwidth of the internet to stream Community, which I 100% recommend streaming, by the way. I've been watching it again. I love that show so much. I'd say that is my favorite comedy, bar none. It's so good. Okay, so we're done uploading. Let's just move off that. So I should be able to show you my screen now. Screen share. So I should be able to say start. It should tell me what it's got. There's not a whole lot happening on the serial monitor. Oh, that looks good. The baud rate's wrong. Oh, is it not connecting to my beautiful Wi-Fi? What is my Steam name? My Steam name is the same as my GitHub name. It's Witness Me Now. Excuse me. Okay, so I must have a bad Wi-Fi password. So let me just fix that. Maybe Brian isn't great. Let me show you what I did wrong. Okay, let's make sure I just don't dox myself. Does anyone see anything wrong with that? I spelt my own name wrong. So nobody feel bad about ever spelling my name wrong, because I'm an idiot. Okay. Whoops. What kind of games do you play, Dennis? I don't play a lot of games. Yeah, I like if it was a project where I was working on this, but these are all examples, right? So it would be a lot of effort for me to keep dropping in a creds.h and then pulling it back out. And include it. Yeah, so I would do that if we were working on a continuous project. I called it secret.h and I would add it to an ignore file and everything would be great. But because I'm just working on different examples, right, I'd have to pull that in every time and that's fine. like, to be honest, if any of you got the token, it doesn't really matter a huge amount. Telegram have actually pretty good sort of, like, say you got that token, right? All you can do is message people who have already messaged the bot, right? And you would need to know my Telegram ID, which I don't really hide a huge amount, so maybe that's possible to find. But like, as soon as I started getting spammed from this thing, I just changed the bot token. So do you know what? I'm not gonna hide the bot token because I'll just change it after the stream anyways. Or maybe I'll just keep you on your toes and keep changing it. Maybe I don't know if I want to not hide the bot token. Let's see. I talk a good game, but now thinking about it, I'm like, hey Tetra Print, how's it going? I thought you might like that one, David. I should have made the password me and David are enemies now. Guess I'll just try start again. Hopefully it works this time. Did I upload it after I changed the code? I'm not sure if I did. Let's try. I have a group of like friends that I play games with, and we kind of bounce around between some different games. Mainly it's Rainbow Six Siege, but like we've been playing Golf It. Odolo Geezer, is that one of you? Is that you, Dennis? Hugh Dennis. Where is Telegram? Oh, Tab Electronics. 1,000,000%. Like, why there isn't access to environment variables in Arduino? I don't know. I just don't know. But you can do it in Platform IO. Oh, it'd be so nice, so nice. Yeah. So this still isn't working. So that's good. I've got an IP address. So why isn't... So what's going on? I have an IP address. Pin mode LED as output. I'm setting it as low. That happened because the built-in LED of ESP is active low. So why isn't... So Start should trigger this. Welcome to the Universal Telegram Library bot library from last name. And it is not. Ah, I see. So let me try a simpler one. Status. Maybe my bot token is bad. Let me just check. My bot token doesn't look bad. It looks fine to me. So I've got internet. I've got a proper bot token. Ah! Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay. Does anyone know what I did wrong? I did something pretty stupid wrong. If you were here for what I changed for the first one, you should know. This! I didn't client that set insecure, so it's just not connecting. Ugh. I'm not a smart man. I'm telling you, if I had like, I don't know, $1 for the amount of times I've told people to use client.set and secure, I would have like $50, which isn't a lot, but you know, still. Another game I play a little bit is Pro Evo, or Pez. I don't know what it's, ePez. I don't know what it's called these days. But so sometimes I find it really difficult to. I nearly showed my thing there. I probably did, but look, if you're fast enough to get it, fair play to you. Sometimes I find it really difficult to like switch off. Like, as in, I'm constantly thinking of stuff I have to do. Oh, it's after bombing through all the things that I was doing here. So I find playing games is sometimes a way of just like stopping me thinking about like, oh, I have to list this thing on Tindie, or I have to fix this thing, or I have to order this thing, or I have to. So yes, sometimes when I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed, I just play games or something, and it probably doesn't help, because after I'm finished, I'm just like, okay, I still have all these things to do, but now I have 2 hours less to do it. Yeah, so here, status is working, LED is off. So let's turn on the LED. So it's actually working the opposite way. So yeah, that's not great. Yeah, probably. Yeah, so I guess I could just fix that up. Let me initialize the thing as high. Active high. The bar LED status, the LED is on. Yeah, I just change this. I'll change that to high. Change that to low. I could probably do something fancy and do a boolean where it's like active high. But I'm not going to bother. I'll just write it as a comment up the top. I feel like I'm missing out on this weather vane now. Would I not be like doxing you if I opened it? All this talk about doxing is making me hungry. Where is the weather vane? Is it in the my flat picture? I don't. Oh, there it is. Isn't it? I can't zoom in on it. Yes, there is an elephant on a weather main, isn't it? That's interesting. Weather vane, not main. Okay, so I'm happy enough with this one now. I suppose I should probably test that the active low changed worked. So maybe let's do that. Yeah, I need to add it. The LED, I know you can't see at the moment, so I'll fix it. LED This example is active low. Right, so let's go back to sharing my screen. This one will do fine. We'll bring up Telegram. So we should do LED on. Turns it on. Oops. LED off. Turns it off. So, okay. We're good. We are good. Okay. Sorry. Sticky off again while I get rid of the bot token and stuff. I just copy that off to a notepad because I've been using. Anything anybody wants to talk about while we're doing this stuff? I don't mind talking about anything that you want to talk about. Any questions or anything? See you, Dennis. You bricked a radio. Oh no. Okay, we can. Where is that? It's over the side. That's fine. Oh. What did I do? I copied and pasted the placeholder one in, not placeholder one. That was silly of me. Okay, I can share my screen again. Yeah, Genie. Yeah, so Telegram, the chat app, so there's a bot library that I've written for it. So here is a demo of it. So this is one of the examples, which is the LED, flash LED one. So you can see I have commands here. So there's LED on. There's the LED going on. Here's LED off. And it's off. So it's see you, David. Take it easy. He's gone now. We totally will keep doing the enemy. Includes a bunch of crypto functions. You got all those working on an Arduino. The Telegram bot API is secured using the SSL, but like I didn't do anything. With that, like, isn't that was done by other people than me? But yeah, it does the SSL stuff. Now we're kind of doing fake SSL a little bit because we're not actually checking this line here. Set insecure is basically saying don't worry about who the server is. No, the bot is making requests to the Telegram bot, or sorry, the Arduino or the ESP8266 is making requests to the Telegram bot API directly. So it's connected to my Wi-Fi and making the requests. Yeah, it is. It's an ESP. Yeah. No. It can't. For sure. Yeah, no, it's an ESP, so it's doing the SSL stuff. So it works. Basically, the requirements of this library is a device that has a client that supports SSL. So what gets passed into the into the library is an instance of a client, and it's just using the generic client interface. So like the same code works for the ESP32 and for the ESP8266 and like the Wi-Fi Nina. Well, actually, I don't know if the Wi-Fi Nina still works. Depends on if they support SSL 1.2 or not. Yeah, so the same code underneath the hood works for all of them, but just in the example or up at the user level, they just, pass in their whatever's the applicable instance of a Wi-Fi client that works with SSL. What is it? I received a little flashlight to use the built-in battery, but I was a little sad. It appears to have it definitely has a lithium-ion cell because Pile of Stuff opened one in a recent video, Michael. It has a little tiny lithium-ion cell. Thanks, Evgeny. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that wrong. But I've had this project going for a while. So what I'm doing at the moment is there's Arduino JSON. I don't know, like they released a new version around this time last year, version 6, that had breaking changes in it. And I've had like a potential release branch for it for ages. I just haven't gotten around to like tidying up all the examples and things like that. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. But I love this as an interface for I love this for an interface as Arduino or for like ESP8266 projects. I just think it works so nicely. Now, me and my wife use Telegram as like our main chat thing anyways, so it's not a stretch for us to like, if we wanted to control like lights or whatever using it, there'd be no problem because we have Telegram installed already. But I just think it's nice. Yes, so that's this version, so we'll just take it and we'll copy it back into the flash LED example. All good. Yep. Ooh, can you tell us more about the startup? The charge light does, so that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not a lithium ion. It just means it's a poorly implemented charging circuit on a lithium ion. Like it should stop when it's finished charging, but the circuit in it was really cheap, so I don't think it does. Hey Logic Spark Electronics, how's it going? Okay, so that's another one down. Basic example, how to receive commands will turn off. Yeah, that seems acceptable to me. Yep, cool. Okay, let's move on to something fancier because you've been sticking with me and oh yes, Zam, it does. Let's do that right now, just to show you. Yeah, you're better off taking it off. So here is Unexpected Makers Tiny Pico. I'll plug it in. I should probably use like the dots there, but I haven't. I'll just run like one of the echo examples on it or something. So we go to File, Examples, Universal Telegram, ESP32, Echo Bot. I guess I will have to update these with nicer things up here too. Let me just take you off screen for a second, just me. Grab my SSID and password. And the bot token. So we go to tools, let's select, should have the tiny Pico here, tiny Pico, port, COM12, upload. This could be embarrassing for both of us. The ESP32 doesn't need the set and secure stuff, so. I'm running EchoBot on it, yeah. I'm thinking of tearing them down. He did it quite recently, Michael. It was in the last like week or two. Yeah, if something goes wrong, who better to support it? I know I've used the Tiny Pico in a few projects already, and Sion knows I like it. I haven't had any problems with it either. At least I don't think so. Okay, so I don't know why I'm showing this up because it doesn't matter. But typing one-handed for pretty much no reason. I have smoked exactly 0 Tiny Picos. I actually can't remember the last time I smoked any board. I've smoked a couple of matrix displays, but I haven't smoked any boards, I don't think. Okay, I'll be back in like 2 seconds. I'm gonna get the ESP32 cam, and we'll get that example up and running again. 2 seconds. Maybe I'll just look at my desk rather than. I'm back. You killed a Sam 21. Oh no. I'd say BitLooney has smoked a few boards, or oh no. Oh, that sounds awful. Yeah, I actually need this desk plus me one. Okay, so here's my ESP32 cam. Stupid focus on this thing. White balance is terrible. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, that seems alright. Yeah, so the ESP32 cam. So before BitLooney had his programming board, I made a stupid programming board that just makes it a little bit easier to program, but he went whole hog and made like a super easy to program one. So I'll give him a helpful point for this. But Yes. I think it's this way, isn't it? Would be helpful if he'd let us know which way. I think it's this way. Yeah, it is. Yes, it will. Evgeny. So let's do that. Okay, we'll plug it in. In fact, I'd be surprised if it wasn't already running that code, but let's see. You torched a few CH559s. Yeah, I'm still slowly but surely working on my D1 Mini HID shield. Where are you based, Tony? Oh, that's a bad Welsh. Sorry, Welsh people. Only one helpful point. Yes, I know. I hope you know you're in Michigan. I can't send stuff to the US really at the moment. It's just disappointing. I'd send you one of the HID shields if you wanted one, but seeing as you're working on CH stuff as well, yeah, you probably have CH552 stuff already. It's never stopped snowing here. It's been so nice in Ireland recently. Okay, we'll see. Does this have something here? Is it already running anything? Okay, no. All right, you stay there for a second. I need to I need to find where I have this code. I think I have it on a gist or somewhere. But I also probably have private things on gist, so I better just check. Okay, I found. Did I? Yeah. I have. Okay, just give me like 2 seconds. Right, I'll share my screen, and then then I'll take you off my screen again. Okay, so we'll go to ESP32. We will go to, what am I calling it? Send photo. New folder. Send photo. And then I'll create a new one called ESP32 cam. And under that, I will create a new file called ESP32cam.ino. Okay, be back in 2 seconds. Did I miss anything? Not a town name. Blah, 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 blah. Made this for David Watts' stream. Yes, of course. We're having really good weather at the moment. Yeah, my post office is not doing well with the increased traffic. I had to order from Pi Supply and have gone missing. Dang. Yeah, like for me, like the US was like one of my bigger shipping, or one of like the places I shipped to the most. And yeah, I like once kind of the stay-at-home orders kind of came into place, I was like, okay, I have to go to the post office to ship to the US, and you know, it's really not essential that I do, so we decided to drop them. But it's fine. When things start opening up again, I'll have plenty of stock ready and waiting for people in the US. What am I doing? Sorry, I'm just trying to tidy up the code so I'm not doxing myself, which seems to be the main purpose of this stream, is to try to dox myself. I think we should be good now. I've never heard of it, even Logic Spark, so I can't comment on it. Speak German with a Geordie accent. If ever like I'm thinking of like a stereotypical Geordie accent, I just think of your man from, what was it called? Alan Partridge. Yeah, even DHL. Like, so I ordered using JLC's EU thing, and people are saying, yeah, we're getting them really fast. Like, Paul, were you one of the people who got it? Getting it really fast. Mine shipped like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. I'm still not here, and I got onto JLC just before the stream, and they messaged me back saying, "Here's the tracking number. Can you contact DHL?" And I was like, "This tracking number doesn't work." And they go, "Oh no, here, this is the tracking number. Can you get onto DHL?" I'm like, no. You get onto DHL. Like, if the tracking number said it's in the local post office or whatever, or the local tracking thing, it'd be fine. The tracking number says receive digital information. That's it. Like, there's no, like, it has departed, it has arrived to Ireland, nothing. So I'm kind of like, no, I won't. So, like, arrive today, finish production Saturday, arrive today. Mine's missing like weeks. So, yeah. Sorry, rant over. Cameracode.h. So that's another file under here. Camera underscore code.h. Okay. It's fine. Then there's one other file then as well. So, like, this was something I worked on previously. It isn't too fancy. Like, the most of this code is just based around the, like, Arduino, like, example camera code. So, yeah. I find PCB way more expensive than JLC, both in shipping and in products. But maybe if they sponsor me enough money, I'd suggest otherwise. What was this called? I was too busy thinking about all the money I could get from people. How do people feel here about sponsorships? I'm always curious about it. So I've never taken one, and like, I don't know, like, I possibly will at some stage, but probably not yet. Like, as in, it's hard to know what to do with them. Like, as in, kind of when you're smaller, and I'm still considered small, despite, you know, obviously I'm a lot bigger than I was at one stage in terms of channel size. Like, it is okay money, but like the goal of your channel at this size, like, if you're serious about like turning it into something more, is not make money at this stage. It's to grow. And I'm always kind of curious about like what people think around, you know, sponsored videos. Because probably people are like desensitized to them. They probably just don't care at this stage, right? It's like, oh, JLC sponsor, skip 10 seconds, cool. There's some people who do sponsorships so much, are so well. There's a guy called Drew Gooden. He does just kind of random videos. His sponsorship videos are so good though. Like you're like you want to actually watch them. I don't care about the product or services, but yeah. I always thought that was kind of funny too about the change in direction thing, Tony. Uh, like I always thought that, say, like if I was sponsored by like Audible, just out of example, right? I don't use Audible, but let's say they sponsored you, like they're a typical sponsor. That that's kind of more of a pure sponsorship than me recommending JLC, right? Because like JLC, like I've had issues with JLC in the past. Nothing major, like I still use them, but you know, I'm not going to tell you, probably, like if the video is sponsored, I won't be allowed to tell you about problems I've had with JLC, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, as in, and say, like if I was JLC and I was sponsoring me, I would send two people over to look at a board before it got sent out rather than like, so is this the same board that you're going to get? I don't know. They keep increasing their prices at random times. So if I'm sponsored, I don't pay for them. So I don't see I don't see the impacts of it, or, so say my order's gone missing at the moment and they're telling me to contact DHL. Like that wouldn't happen if I was sponsored. So I wouldn't see these problems. So get Adafruit or Unexpected Maker to sponsor me. Sion has sent me stuff in the past. I've sent him stuff too. I don't think you could call it a sponsorship, but yeah. But do you know what I mean? Like, as in, so I'm not going to take sponsorship off Audible. Well, maybe if they gave me enough money, maybe I would. But like, do you know what I mean? Like, as in, does it skew your interactions with them even? This video is sponsored by all the mistakes of JLC. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that is one thing about JLC. In fairness, like, isn't say Great Scott sponsored by JLC, and like they're not that long, his sponsorships. But what if I was sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends? Let me tell you all about this game that I don't care about. Yeah. Yeah, I did. At one stage, I asked Banggood for sponsorship. I wanted a microscope, and I was like, hey, if you sponsor me a microscope, I'll do a sponsored video on it. And they were like, no. So, do you have GitHub sponsors, Johnny? I'm sorry. I get sponsorship from electronic companies. I think that's cool. Good to know. Yeah, so yeah, like to be honest, so say it like JLC. I don't have a problem recommending JLC, so like I wouldn't have a problem being sponsored by them. I've had problems with them in the past, but like I'm still a customer of them. Like if I had big enough problems with them, I wouldn't be there anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I've used them. I don't know how many times, not as much as Unexpected Maker, but I've used them a lot, and in general, it's fine. But like, you can't say that as a sponsor, right? JLC, the $2 for 5 PCBs, half of them will possibly have silkscreen mistakes, but that's okay. They're cheap. You can't say that as a sponsor, but yeah. Okay, let's get this party started. So, do you remember what I was saying about like this is a bad way to work? So I have added a new example to my library now, and in order to get it to show up in my examples thing, I need to like delete whatever. Can definitely say whatever as a sponsor. Take example from Julian, but Sion isn't sponsored by them. Julian is though. Does he talk shit about them? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, PCB. I've ordered off them once. They were fine. They are more expensive, so I don't know. Like, to be honest, nearly all my problems with JLC have been cosmetic, which would be fine for personal use, really. But like when you're trying to sell them on Tindie, like, if the silk screen's bad, I won't sell them. So yeah, so what I'm going to do here is go to this folder, go to libraries. I'm going to delete this again. Go to this. Go to file, tools. Not tools, sketch, include, manage libraries. No, not manage libraries. What am I doing? My first offer of sponsorship was from JLC, and it was when I was like 900 subs or something. I didn't ask, but I presumed they were just offering PCBs. I also didn't know how to make PCBs at the time, so Oshpark have given me codes for stuff before with no like expectation of anything. I think it was just like, hey, that looks cool, here, do you want a code for it? So yeah, Oshpark are cool. I have no problems recommending Oshpark. They're slow. I would, prefix it with that. Like just the assembly of them. Like you could have JLC boards. Like if you ordered them on Sunday, you'd probably have them on Friday. If you ordered green and 2-layer and there was no shipping delays and stuff, like the whole world is upside down now. But yeah, like in normal times, you would have your stuff in 7 working days, we'll say. With Oshpark, it mightn't even go to the fab within 7 working days. Never mind get shipped. So, like, if you're in a rush for stuff, Oshpark, they do have sped up ones. I haven't tried it though. What am I doing here? Oh yes, code. It's in documents. Code. Universal Telegram. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so let's go to board. The AI Tinker Cam. Port Com 11. Oops. What happened there? Let's open examples. Universal Telegram, Arduino, library, ESP32, send photo, ESP32 cam. Let's go over here. Yes, look at this for hair. I hate being able to see my fringe. It has to get cut. You're released. Yeah, I think I will cut my hair soon. don't like it. So, like, geez, I was even putting in comments and stuff. Nice. Some of this camera code comes from Rui Santos. I forgot that. Choose huge app. I suppose I don't need to do that stuff anymore, but it's fine. Yeah, so Arduino JSON, blah, 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 blah. So I just need to put in the stuff here. Yeah, let's just run this. Yeah, so I use a shave-in clippers on my beard when it gets too long. How, Brian? How? Oh, get my hair cut? Oh, well, I can use the shaving thing, you know, the blade, so I could do like a shaved head, but like with a 5 blade or whatever, so it wouldn't be that short. Yeah, clippers. But I think I might get my wife to try cut it. Look, what's the worst that could go wrong? It's gonna grow back, right? I hope it'll grow back, right? Yeah, look, it'll grow back. Yeah. I don't have that problem with it falling off itself. I have very thick hair, actually. For whatever reason. I even, like, hairline wise, I'm going pretty grey, but I have a pretty decent hairline. Yeah, my dad still has a pretty decent head of hair. He's not that old, I suppose. He's in his 50s, but yeah. Okay, so let's get the code out here. So go on, do it now. No, thank you. She's probably in bed. Let's get this camera working, and then I'm going to also go to bed, I think, because I'm pretty tired. I just don't have the stamina that I once did. But I was probably like drinking coffee and stuff when I was streaming before. Coffee. I miss you so. Okay. Is someone going? Oh, see you, Rob. Take it easy. Okay, so let's upload this. Let's hope BitLooney's shoddy board works. It's gonna work. It's really good. This is everything I dreamed my board would be. Oh. Y2 GPIO num is not declared in scope. Ah. Camera pins is empty. That would probably do it. Good job, Brian. It's distracted by the chat, probably. So let's paste that back in here. Camera model AI thinker. I'm just going to take the same code and copy it into the Arduino IDE. That is true. The really helpful board. It is helpful. Look, I've already given him one helpful point for it. That's all he can get. My fake beer should have caffeine in it, so if anything, it should have helped me. I presume you all know that like my feud with BitLooney is not genuine. I have lots of time for BitLooney. Even like I think it was last weekend. I should have been in no, not the weekend just gone. The weekend before, I should have been in Berlin meeting him and the other guys. So I was actually quite bummed out. that I didn't get to meet them again. Someday. Are compiling for the multiple libraries. Oh, Telegram host, Telegram SSL, Telegram host. Oops. Seems like I saved something and didn't save it somewhere else. Rutrow. Yes, I didn't save the H. I'll just change that in here. Source H edit. Okay. Done. Yeah, things aren't that bad here. Oops. Like I'd say if you had a few tennis rackets in the car or something and you were dressed to go playing tennis and you were driving somewhere and you got stopped by the guards and they were like, hey, where are you going? You're like, the shop. They might give out to you, but Bitlooney is cheating in that folding from home thing. So there is a trick to get more work units that I don't use most of the time. But I think if it requests a work unit and there isn't one there, it puts you on a longer delay to check for the next time. So if you've missed work units a few times, it might take like an hour or more to get your next work unit. But if you restart the thing, it brings that back down. So you can like shoot yourself up. So that's why people with similar or worse computers than you might be doing better than you. Johnny, we could join forces though. If you just use my my name, it would just count towards me. What's Rosetta at home? Is that the same kind of thing? So it's done uploading now. So let's see. Yes. I guess if it was doing something, it would have started here. Okay, let's see, is it? Camera failed. Bitlooney, your board is terrible. It's not. It's very good. Failed to set frame size. Maybe I have something wrong. Let me just go off for a second. I have AI Tinker selected. Yeah, it should be alright. Oh, you saw my bot token. Don't do anything with it. Yeah, so like at the moment I'm getting a load of CPU work units, and they're like, from a score point of view, they're pointless. I'm hoping that they actually do help people, but like just purely from a score point of view, you get like 800 points for a CPU one, and I can get like 16,000 points for for a GPU one. Okay, so is this still failing to init? Maybe the camera does look quite awkward at the moment, so maybe it's not in good shape. Let me try reset it, maybe? It could be broken, even at this stage. I really should buy another one. Let's try again. Are you doing anything? No. Why isn't this working? Maybe I got a different COM port? No, same COM port. It programmed, but what's going on here now? There's the thing again, don't steal it, please. So setup, blah 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 blah, setup camera, setup failed. So if it failed, it should be right here to tell us it failed. So what's going on? Maybe BitLooney shipped me a defective one. I am confused to why it wouldn't. Like, I understand the camera not working, but like, why isn't the serial not working? BitLooney. I also wish she put a reset button on the board. I have access to two, this one and my old one. This one is the only one that would actually score decent points though. I presume it is connecting. Okay, I'm just gonna upload it again and see does it work. Yes, that does make sense for sure, Tony. I want to see a crazy orange sea. Do you mean like the sea is orange, or is like a sea of people? Oh, I do have a work laptop that I could use too, but I don't think that would be cool. Is it the 2070 Johnny or the 2070 Super? What is going on here? I'm actually curious to break BitLooney's board. It shows up as a serial, like as a COM board. If it shows up as a COM port, it's got to be still working. Yeah, it shows up as a COM port. Color me confused. Let's turn up the noise to see, is it making the USB sound when I plug it in? Yes, it is. Why amn't I getting anything from the serial monitor? Makes it hard to check, is the thing working? It doesn't seem to be doing too much, because this would have kicked off if it was connected. Is my phone still on? Phone's still on. Yeah, I have the RTX 2070 Super in this. Like, I couldn't tell you if it's worth it over to the 2070. I don't know. It just fit within my budget at the time, so I bought it. When life gets you down. What do you do? The baud rate in the serial monitor is 11.5200, right? Yep. Like, I'm seeing nothing in the serial monitor though. Like, the first thing it should do is try set up the camera and fail if it's failing. Now you were occupying the serial monitor. I've been trying to occupy you for I don't know how long. David on his stream was saying that should it be pronounced baud rate, or what was the other one he was saying? It's a pretty good USB cable though. 8% faster. Aha! I don't know what we did, but we're back on track, baby. Fucking serial. What is going on? Maybe it's trying to write to the serial monitor before the monitor's ready or something. With no reset button on the microprocessor, it's just doing its thing. We should all petition BitLooney to put a reset button on the programmer. I'm gonna miss this thing again now. Oh, no, it was busy. I finished uploading, I wonder. What is going on here? I'm gonna restart the Arduino IDE. Yeah, I'll restart the Arduino IDE. Test. No. Go away. One thing that I didn't know a lot of was USB-C to USB-C cables. I owned like the one from my Mac charger, and that was it. you're gonna see my code again, right? Camera pins.h. This is the example one. Open, recent open. ESP32 camera test. This one. Enjoy my bot token because I don't care. Well, that didn't help my serial monitor problem. Jeez, am I doing something wrong with the serial monitor? I'm so confused. Serial.begin. Pin mode. Maybe I just need a delay or something. Yeah, for boards. See you, Johnny. Thanks for joining. I think it was there when I opened and closed it, so. Comport was busy. Busy doing what? I'd say it's failing that camera initialization again. Let's plug it into my special board, which maybe is better at something. Distributing power. I doubt it. So there'll be no serial monitor with this one now. But maybe the Telegram works? Yes! Bitlooney's board is terrible. Tell the masses. Do you wanna be blinded? Be working, Mr. Flash? Okay, maybe we need to fix the flash. Should it be doing anything other than just toggle flash? Should it have said anything? Nope, shouldn't have said anything. I wonder why flash isn't working, so. Okay, let's try to take a photo. It's also possible that it's crashed at this stage. Oh, it's bloody running through the... It's running through the example, like as in all these times I click start before. Like that's why flash didn't work that time. I have sunken, I'm leaning back in my chair. Oh, oops. There. Okay, so it's connecting to the Wi-Fi now. We just need to get it to You should just get it to hurry up and connect to more. I don't need that. It's very slow. Why are you so slow? Maybe it's disconnected or something again. I'm just gonna plug in the D1 Mini and let it chew up those messages. Come on, yum 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 yum. Chew up those messages. Has my thing stopped working or something? My hotspot? My hotspot's there. It's got one connected device at the moment. Why are you being so bad? This doesn't look like it's ready for release, does it? Maybe the tiny Pico will save the day. Not looking good, folks. Whatever's going on. Did one of you steal it? My bot token? Okay, let me go back to just me. Going to go to the bot folder. I'm going to go to my bots. I want to go to wild test. If it revoked current token, I'm after getting a new token. I'll put that in here. Port. I don't have any ports, which is not surprising. I should have a new port 11. That's me. I can still come hang out with all my EU buddies. Okay, code uploaded. Just 1 second. It's probably, yes, camera setup failed. Like, yeah, I'd imagine, seeing as I can drive 2 hours north and be in the UK, that the chances of me needing visas to get to the UK is probably slim, but I don't know. Who knows in this crazy world? Power surge on USB. What is with this? I'm surprised I still have Oh, I've been plugging my thing in upside down, so that's good. I think I might have broken my my camera. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I fixed it. I plugged in my camera the other way around, so that was good. You connected to the Wi-Fi? Do you still work? Nothing particularly hot on it. Plug it back into BitLooney's board. See, is it recognized? Well, BitLooney's board will be recognized, but is my is the board the camera board? BitLooney's board will not be recognized. Did I just break BitLooney's board too? Did I break my USB hub? It still has power. Might have potentially broken pin on my USB hub. Report on my USB hub. Night Tetra. Let's see. Yeah, that was recognized. No port though. Oh no, it showed up there. Right? COM port 11 is not available. Okay, try COM port 13. So. And I was talking about earlier how I hadn't fried a board in a while. I don't think I have fried this one though. I should have fried it. I suppose I should use BitLooney's board to try program to it. That would give me a better indication of if it's fried or not. Compiling sketch. Oh, it's writing something. So the ESP itself seems to be alright. It uploaded something. Camera setup failed. So I've passed camera setup, failed once. So one time so far out of I don't know how many it's actually turned on. Oh yeah? I must go back to that game at some stage. Guys, I think we're going to be leaving this on a disappointing note. I wanted to end on a high note, but I don't know what's going on here. It doesn't seem to be working when it's on the base, but maybe that's not the base's fault. I think I did break the data pins on one of my USB hubs, USB things. Yes, I believe this is now charging only. Interesting. I do have another camera here, but I've literally never used it before. So it'd be some Hail Mary that it works. What's it even called? It's got a bright LED on it. It's called the M5 Cam module. Do I have camera pins for that? M5 stack PSRAM. Is there PSRAM on this? Looks like there is. Let's give it a go. Okay. 15. There's a button on the side of this. I wonder what that button is. Is it reset? Did it come with? Right, it's done uploading, whatever it's after doing. It's doing stuff. Camera captured failed. So it initialized the camera, okay, but the capture of the camera failed. Wonder, is my camera code wrong or something? Frame size. UXG. That's the big one, isn't it? Let's try QVGA. Let's try SVGA. Why not? I don't know what any of this means, but okay. I like this camera though, seeing as it has no, it doesn't need specific programming boards or anything. I wonder what that button is though. Uploading. Connecting to Brian's stream. Is my phone not hotspotting anymore? Let's find out if this is a reset button. It is. Okay, so let's go to this. Just check that it's responding. It is. Let's try to take a photo. Well, I didn't throw. Oh, I was just about to say I didn't throw back a camera failed, but what's this M5 cam module? M5 cam module pins. Yes, that's what I have. This requires the IDF. Nobody wants that. Perfect. Show me the code. Probably main. It's not main. Components, camera. Hey, thank you, Alan. Spending that Corona stimulus. That's pretty funny. No, thanks for that. Appreciate it. I'll use it to buy better cameras. ESP32 camera module. Development board. M5 cam module. M5 cam Arduino. Hey Graham, how's it going? I'm not winning. I'm not even slightly winning. I think I've definitely damaged my USB hub by plugging my camera in the wrong way around on a board. So that was good. And yeah, just things are not working out well for me. Five stack user guide, no good. What is a Grove pin? Examples, camera, server, 5 stack. Where is he getting that from? Camera exp.h. Is that up here? Maybe source. Camera exp.h. He's using VGA. Now the one I have, the hub I have is actually quite good. It's a TP-Link one. I guess it's only... how many did it have? It used to have 7 ports. I guess it only has 6 now. I was kind of just hoping this would work. Why? Oh, there's pin numbers here. So maybe we can combine them. These. So D0 is LDDC channel. I don't know what that is. Timer. Oh yeah, that's just the timer and channel. So Y2 GPIO num is D0. So that's 17, which is not the same for this or this. Okay, so we might need to add another one. So it would be an elif. So what's this called? It's an M5 camera model. M5 stack. What did I say it was called? M5 cam. Okay, so I'm hiding my face, just hiding stuff. Yeah, so I found for this M5 camera USB board, which is our board, I found a pin definition for it. And if we look at camera code.h, you can see that this Y2 GPIO pin is set to D0, which is, so this one here is set to this, so Y2 GPIO num should be 17. For this, Y2 GPIO num should be 17. Y3 is D1. Okay, I don't know why they're like that, but Y3 is 35. Y3 is 35. 34. 5. 39. 18. Let's just double check that's right. So Y7 should be D5. And it is. Okay, we're sucking diesel here. 36. And this should be 19. Okay, what else do we have? We have X clock should be X clock. Where's the X clock? GPIO pin is 27. PCLK should be 21. Href should be 26. VSync should be 22. SCL, that's probably this one, 23. SDA, data, 25. I think that's everything, is it? You don't know what this PWN is. I don't see anything. Let's give it a go. Are you excited? I don't know how it'll work out, but well, let's find out. Just need to change our thing here. Where is it? Hash define. Power down, maybe. Me or the board? I'm excited about it. I think this is gonna be fine. Although I have no idea what one of those, what is it, this PWN is about. It's 32 for most of them. It's -1 for that one. Maybe I should have made it -1. Oh, there is a reset, which I didn't change. Okay, let's fix that up. So let's. It seems like ones with resets don't have paudins, and paudin ones don't have resets. So let's see. This one has a paudin but no reset. This one has no paudin and has a reset, and it's 15. Okay, so let's save that and upload it again. Oh, power down. Yes. That would make more sense than telling me to power down. Okay. Let's just make this go away stickers. Okay, so it's working. You ready? Damn. Oh, disappointing. The SVGA is still too big. Oops. Does it have... So it's not failing to init the camera, it's failing to capture model wide flip pitch mirror. Let's give it one last try. Oh. Sorry, Yaks, there's such a shortage on hair clippers, I don't know if I can shave you today. Done uploading. I probably should be testing this with actual code rather than a like Telegram bot. What's going on? Oh, it isn't connected. It's got a new message. Camera failed to get the frame on time. Is the error message. I wonder, does the latest ESP32 have it maybe? Camera web server, camera pins.h. It's not here. That's actual bin files. I want the code. M5 camera. I think we have officially reached the end of the rabbit hole. M5 cam module pins. I know we were here before, but buy it from their official store. it's gonna have the pins to find in here somewhere. Camera include camera.h. Okay, here are the pins. Int reset. Type def structure of camera config. Somewhere else. Nope. Nope. Main app.c. Where is the camera config? They're setting it to be pixel format to be grayscale. JPEG quality to be 20. Camera frame size to be QVGA. Driver GPU H. I need to find these config, which is probably under driver. Looks like number 11 in that tutorial addresses it. In which tutorial? Number 11. Where's the pins coming from? Components, camera. Okay, config, test pattern. Nope. Include. That was the one we already looked at. Camera.c is surely not gonna have it. No. So somewhere in here has the. So it has to be under main, I guess. What's in component.mk? That's the make file. App.c. It's gotta be in here. GPIO.h. It's pictures, can't be under that. Components. It's really under this. This is a different server. does it get its pin definition from? How does this compare to my one? CCB clock. 27. It's 23 on that one. CCB data. 25. System clock is 27. Okay, no, I have that the same as those. Then what's this one? Vertical sync is 22. That's the same. Horizontal reference is 26. That's the same. Pixel clock is 21. Pixel data bit. And camera pin D2. 17. 35. 34. 5. 39. 18. 36. 19. Reset is 15, and then camera power down, C note 3. Does not need to be connected. Okay. So that should work, but it just ain't working. X clock frequency. Thought I could hear a noise outside, but I can't. Okay, we're gonna leave it for tonight. Figure out what's going on. We'll save it for some other day. Thank you for joining, everybody. Sorry that we couldn't get it working, but look, we are where we are. We'll get it next time. Right, thanks everyone. I'll talk to you again. Bye bye.